Ni hao from Wes and Amy. Today we're making flour tortillas. Now in some parts of the world, maybe where you are, tortillas are ubiquitous. They're a staple for breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you want some at home, you run down to the supermarket and you can grab them any time of day, nicely packed in plastic. Well, that's not the case where we are. There's maybe 1 or 2 stores where I can reliably find tortillas, right? They're imported and they're at import prices. It just so happens I want to eat some tortillas today, so I'm going to learn to make them myself. To a bowl, you're going to add 350 grams of all-purpose flour, 6 grams of sea salt, 6 grams of baking powder for a slight puff, and 33 grams of oil. Now in this case, I'm using vegetable oil because that's what I have on hand. Now you want to mix the oil into the flour by breaking up any clumps until it's well incorporated. You're going to have a slightly coarse texture to the flour at this point. Here I'm measuring out the warm water. It's just under a cup. Just bring that together by hand, cleaning out the bowl. Now you can turn that onto a lightly floured surface and continue kneading until it's smooth. Now I'm rolling this out on a silicone mat, but here's a tip. Just spray a little water under the mat on the table to keep it from moving. I obviously didn't do that, so my mat is rolling around on me. And when it's done, it's going to look like this. Cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and we're back to divide the dough. I'm aiming for 16 tortillas here. Now, my bench scraper, for some reason, I cannot find it today. But the show must go on, so I'm using a butter knife. You can definitely eyeball it here when you're dividing, but I also have a scale and I like to weigh everything. So I'm here just trying to get them close, about 37-38 grams per tortilla. Next, we're going to roll each one into a ball. And I tried rolling one out here into our tortilla shape, but as you can see, it's actually still shrinking back. So I'm off to grab some plastic wrap. We'll just cover these guys and let them rest for a few minutes, and just enough time to run downstairs and pick up a delivery. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I've also pulled out a cast iron skillet while I was away. This actually is the lid of our Dutch oven that we use to bake bread, but the top here doubles as a 10-inch skillet. I like it a lot. Now you want to get this pan really hot, and we'll cook and roll these out at the same time. Now I figure I've got 16 tries to make a perfectly round one, right? So this is the technique. You pat it down into a circle and just use short strokes going out from the center to try to get a round. Maybe the next one. Or the next one. Now, in the end, I embraced the rustic nature of round-ish tortillas, and I'm really happy with the way they came out. Now, how long should you cook each one? I don't know exactly. It'll depend on how hot your cast iron is. Probably 30 to 40 seconds per side. You'll see them bubble up and puff just a little bit. And when they get some color on one side, that's when you flip it over and cook that side until it gets a little color as well. While you have one cooking, you can be rolling out the very next one. And that's it. Just repeat this process until you've used up all of your dough. And that's it. You just made flour tortillas. It was way easier than I expected. So go ahead and give these a try yourself. Now I decided to make a salsa and ground chicken breast today too, just because that's what we had in the fridge. So for the salsa, it's really simple. Just tomatoes, onion, cilantro, chili peppers, garlic, some lime juice, and some salt. Nothing fancy today. I just threw it in the food processor and gave it a quick pulse. I'm okay with this texture, but if you really want to slice and dice and make your pico de gallo, great. Enjoy this delicious salsa that you're gonna make. So now I'll just throw this in the fridge to meld together while we get our chicken done. So for the chicken breast, I'll give them a quick wash and then stick them into the food processor in batches as well. It was delivered to our place just this morning. Okay, so now the chicken is ground. It's off into a hot skillet with just a little bit of oil. Once that's cooked through, then we can add some seasonings. Now, if you can imagine, it's difficult to get tortillas. It's even harder to get taco seasoning, much less the individual spices if you want to try to make your own. And this is a little bit of taco seasoning that a friend gave to me when he moved back to the States. So thanks a lot, bud. you know who you are, and look, it's being put to good use. When you live abroad, sometimes it's these little things that you get excited about, like seasonings. Now add a little water to your chicken. Once it comes to a boil, let it simmer for a few minutes, and that's it. Now the chicken's done too. So we're ready to assemble our chicken taco, chicken burrito type things. I'm not sure what they should be called. Just let me know in the comments down below what they're supposed to be called. So the tortillas are still warm. I kept them in a warm oven. And it's got a nice texture, moist, not too thick. And all together, just hang on, let me get a second opinion. Yep, they are pretty good. She thinks so too. This is definitely going on the list of things to make again. I don't think I change a thing, actually. Maybe just try to get them rounder next time around. And that's it. Homemade flour tortillas. The recipe is down below in the description. Let me know in the comments down below if you gave this a try. And let me know how you like to eat your tortillas. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great day. 再见。